What's going on, guys? This is Riggs from OneHive Alpha, OneHive Genesis, here with the very next attack strategy video. And today we're going to be talking about the max attack. For those of you that do not know what max attack is, it's basically a Laloon or a Go Laloon turned upside down, where you're using your spells on your kill squad as opposed to the Laloon portion. And real quick, just to break down the troops that you would normally use in this attack, you're looking at 2 camp hounds, 2 golems, anywhere from 4 to 8 wizards for funneling and cleanup, 12 to 16 loons, and if the base calls for it, 3 wall breakers. If you do not need wall breakers, you can always substitute them with a few minions. And I always prefer to take a maxed out hound in the clan castle. Big shout out to Amsterdam for that. Now, to go over spells, you're looking at 1 heal, 1 rage, 2 poison to deal with the enemy clan castle troops, and 4 earthquake spells to break everything open and push everything inside, and of course your heroes. Now, to cover them real quick, I would not recommend using anything less than 15 heroes, as they are a huge part to getting a successful max attack off. And the reason why I really want to talk about and demonstrate this attack strategy is because in the current meta that the game is in right now, is ground troops have completely dominated and taken over, and you're seeing more and more expos set to ground, as well as people taking less consideration for their air defense placement as we see them moving further and further to the edges of the bases. And this is considered an old school attack, and in Alpha, in the war that we just wrapped up, I used this attack twice. So I just want to demonstrate that it is still a viable attack in the game, and we'll go ahead and I'll show you guys the base breakdown of what to look for. It is not a cure-all. You know, it's not going to work on every single base, but on the right base, it will completely overpower, you know, if you do it correctly. So we'll go ahead and break down the 2 bases that I use this attack on, as well as show you guys the replays. So without further ado, we will go ahead and get right into it. Okay, so the first thing you want to look at when you're determining whether or not a max attack is going to work on a base is the position of at least 2 air defenses and the enemy archer queen. So the first thing I notice is this air defense right here, and this air defense right here, and where the enemy archer queen is. And you have to ask yourself, will my kill squad take out both those air defenses and the enemy archer queen? If the answer is yes, you basically have the first phase of this attack. The other thing you want to look at is the positioning of the remaining 2 air defenses, being those 2 up there. And if you notice, both these archer towers, this wizard tower and the archer tower over here, are all in range of those air defenses, meaning if I drop hounds on those air defenses up there, all that stuff up there will be getting tanked by the hounds, and that way when I send my loons in, they come in basically untouched. So the way we start this out is with 1 golem right there on that mortar, and 1 golem kind of off to the left here. Reason being is, just like giants, golems will reroute after 7 tiles, and I need these defenses up here distracted, so that way I can take out all this trash right here, because you do not want your heroes going shopping. You want them going inside the frickin' base. And so anyway, once I drop the golems down, I go ahead and start the funneling with my wizards, indicated by those white dots right there. Once I see the funnel being created, I go ahead and drop my heroes down by that arrow right there. And this right here is a perfect junction right there for 4 earthquake spells, which will just open everything up. Now, this being a max attack, again, using your spells on your kill squad rather than the Laloon portion, once everything's routing inside, I drop a heal spell, again, just to keep the golems alive a little longer, keep my heroes alive a little longer. And you'll see once the CC pops, I got a rage, again, just so all the defenses fall faster. I mow through the kill squad, or I mow through the clan house troops a little faster. And I do have 2 poisons. This base didn't really call for a haste because of how close those air defenses are to the edge there. They're not buried that far into the base, so I didn't really need to bring a haste. So I got 2 poisons for the clan castle. Now, again, what I'm trying to eliminate with my kill squad is this portion right here. Anything more than this is all extra. So that's the goal for my kill squad. Now, the other part of this is, of course, the second phase is the Laloon portion. Now, I'm going to start off by dropping the level 2 hound, my camp hound first, followed up by the CC hound second. Reason for that is this was a fresh hit, and I do not know if there are 2 seeking air mines by that air defense. I would rather have a level 2 hound absorb 2 seeking air mines rather than a level 4. Whether the air mines hit a level 2 hound or a level 4 hound does not really matter. It is going to be popping basically regardless, especially under all that firepower coming on up there, or coming from up there. And I'd rather have my level 4 hound tank for me longer. So once I drop down my hounds, I go ahead and drop 2 loons on each of those archer towers and 2 loons on that wizard tower. Once those defenses drop, and I know my loons are targeting that air defense, I go ahead and drop my 3rd and final hound over here at 10 o'clock. Again, followed up by 2 loons there, 2 loons on that cannon, just so they all funnel in, and 1 for good measure right there. Now, that still leaves me with 3 loons. So, on this wizard tower right here at 3 o'clock is where I'm going to drop 1 loon to distract, and the other 2 on that archer tower right there. You always want to save at least a couple loons, 1, if not 2 if you can help it, to drop on the opposite side of the base that all your main group of loons are on. Remember, loons are a huge part of the cleanup when doing a max attack. So at any rate, that is the breakdown of this base. Let's go ahead and jump in and watch the replay and see this attack unfold. All right, so here we got the first replay using max attack. And again, notice I dropped down my 2 golems, and that golem on the far left does not route to that mortar because of the position that I dropped him in. And here comes the funneling wizards as I drop down my queen, followed up by my king, making sure that they do not go shopping around the base. Now, as they're headed up, I'm going to go ahead and drop down the 4 earthquake spells, popping up those walls and opening up that whole area. As the CC troops are coming out, I got the 2 poisons waiting for them. And I go ahead and drop down my heal, followed up by the rage. Again, just pushing everything deeper into this base, eliminating that bottom section. And notice both air defenses are down already. The enemy archer queen is dead. So the kill squad has already done their job. And here comes the Laloon portion. I dropped the level 2 hound first, followed by the CC hound. As they're coming in, taking all the traps, and those loons up there are coming in completely untouched. And notice, once they target that 3rd air defense, I go ahead and start the Laloon portion at 10 o'clock, bringing in that hound. Again, those loons just targeting that Tesla right there, as well as the archer tower. As they're coming in, sweeper giving them a little problem, but that's about to go down. And notice over at 3 o'clock, I drop 1 loon on that wizard tower to distract everything. Because again, you'd rather have 1 loon taking splash damage than 10. And basically, all the defenses are already down. And now it's just a matter of cleanup as we go ahead and just speed through this. You got a bunch of loons up, got the pups up. Even my archer queen survived the raid. So again, on the right base layouts, this attack is still very viable and very overpowering if it's used right. All right, and here is a look at the second base that we're going to break down. And again, just determining whether or not a max attack would be appropriate on a base layout like this. So again, you're going to look at the air defenses up here and the enemy archer queen in her position. Now, she does seem a bit buried, but again, knowing her radius, I know once my kill squad moves in, she will step up and they will be able to take her out with no problem. And again, the other thing I'm looking at is these 2 bottom air defenses. And if you see, there's not that many defenses surrounding them, so I know my loons will not have to do that much work in order to get to them. So now that we've determined that, we'll go ahead and show you guys how we drop down the golems and funnel this
area in order for the heroes to route inside the base. So I'm going to go ahead and drop a golem on the cannon, a golem on the archer tower, followed up by my funneling wizards. And you see on the right side up here, it's very low hit point buildings up there. My wizards are basically going to be one-shotting those buildings, creating a perfect funnel. And you'll see right here, I'm going to go ahead and drop down my wall breakers right there, right at the 12 o'clock area, in order for my heroes to route inside perfectly. And the other thing we're going to be looking at is where we're going to drop our earthquake spells. And we're going to drop those down right here, breaking open this entire section, having perfect access to both of those air defenses and that air sweeper as an added bonus. So once the golems and the heroes route inside and the clan castle pops, I'm going to go ahead and drop one heal and follow that up with the raid spell, again, just pushing everything into the base that much faster, making sure I take out all those defenses, and again, just moving everything through the base that much quicker. Now, one question I get asked a lot, again, since I do a lot of air attacks, is hound placement. And that is one area where a lot of people struggle. Some people think, you're just going to drop a hound right here, drop a hound right here, drop some loons in. But you have to understand these other defenses over here at 9 o'clock. And I'm pretty sure, we can determine that my kill squad will not be able to target this area right over here. So that's where the hound placement comes in. So we'll go ahead. You'll notice I'm going to be dropping my hound way off on the side here at 9 o'clock, followed up again by the CC hound coming in from the bottom. And the reason why I do it like this is because I know that my archer tower, as my hound is moving across the base here, will be shooting at the hound, and as that's happening, I'm just going to be very patient with my loon deployment, dropping 2 on the archer tower. And again, this was a cleanup hit, so I do know that there's a Tesla right there where I'm going to drop another 2 loons and another 2 loons on that cannon, just funneling all the loons into the base. So as the hounds are making their way in, I'm going to drop another 2 on that archer tower down there, and 2 on that archer tower, down there at 5 o'clock. And you'll notice as the hound gets that air defense, it is going to pop right as the CC hound takes over and starts absorbing all that damage, because there are 2 seeking air mines waiting at that air defense. So once I know that my loons are going to be targeting that 3rd air defense, that's when I start my 3rd and final hound on the last air defense here. And again, dropping a 2 on this cannon right here. And I do know that there is a Tesla waiting between the air defense and that cannon. And the remaining 2 loons I'm going to drop on this cannon over here at 3 o'clock. So that right there is basically the base breakdown of how we're going to do the max attack on this. So without further ado, we will go ahead and get into the replay and watch this attack unfold.
All right, so here's the replay on the second attack. And you notice it's going to start up at 12, where I'm going to go ahead and drop down my first 2 golems. Now, as they're tanking those defenses, I go ahead and set up my funneling wizards, getting rid of all the trash. Again, you want to make sure that the heroes are going to route into the base. I go ahead and drop down my 1 test wall breaker before I send in the rest of them, as everything routes inside perfectly. Now, as they're coming in, I go ahead and drop down the 4 earthquake spells as it pops that wall, opening up everything for the troops. And you'll see I pre-drop the poison spell, knowing that the clan castle troops are about to pop out. Here they come. And when that happens, I drop down the heal and the rage just to make sure that they blow through this top section, making sure that I get both of those air defenses down, as well as the enemy archer queen and the clan castle troops. So
as the Archer Queen is taking care of all that up there, she's going to go ahead and lock onto that air sweeper, and she's going to go ahead and snipe that AD. And once that AD comes down, over at 9 o'clock is where the La Lune portion starts. Notice how far, again, where I drop my Hound, absorbing all that air targeting defenses over there as the loons are moving in. And you'll see that he does absorb those 2 black bombs, and right when he pops, the Clan Castle Hound is right on top of that AD, making sure it's tanking for all the loons. Now over at 4 o'clock, I bring in the 3rd and final Hound on that last AD, and notice that my Golem from the Starless raid is still tanking the defenses over at 3 o'clock, just to show how effective a max attack can be when your Golem can make it that far into the base. And you'll notice I have that 1 Tesla left. Once that pops, you'll see that the Clan Castle Hound is still up as he's beelining it to the Wizard Tower, tanking for that huge group of loons over there. And notice over at 3, there are no pups over there, but I did have 1 cleanup wizard in the bag that I saved. So he's taking out that trash. You want to make sure you drop your cleanup troops in the right spot, making sure you do not run out of time. Now, as all the defenses are down, it is just a matter of cleanup. And again, just one more example to show you guys how overpowering this attack can be on the right base layouts. Alright guys, well that is going to wrap it up for this attack strategy video featuring the maxed attack. And again, just demonstrating that some of these old school attacks on the right base layouts are still very viable and very overpowering if executed correctly. So let me know in the comment section below what attack strategies you guys would like to see featured. You know, we'll definitely get into some of the newer stuff like the Stone Hobos, your HGHBs, and different things like that. So again, let me know what you guys would like to see. Again, make sure you like the video if you like the damn video. Subscribe if you haven't already. And just a quick side note, take advantage of these friendly challenges. Get out of your comfort zone. You have nothing to lose with these friendly challenges. If you're an air guy, use ground troops. If you're a ground guy, use air troops. You know, you might surprise yourself. So, at any rate, I hope everybody enjoyed the video. And again, this is Riggs from OneHive Alpha and OneHive Genesis, and I will see you in the next one.